What's good, YouTube? It's your boy VJ the Junkie, and today we reacted to Could Milo Murphy Survive Every Final Destination movie by Choopo. His name is Choopo. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, I never watched any Final Destination movies, you know what I'm saying? Not a single one, but I do know the infamous, you know what I'm saying, log truck, you know, the glass stuff, you know what I'm saying? I know some, you know, I got a little knowledge, but I know a lot of Milo Murphy because I watched it growing up, you know what I'm saying, as legit. And me personally, I believe he could, you know what I'm saying? He could never die, gang. That could never die, bro, with that hairstyle he got on his top of his hair, bro. I'm not lying to you.
Hi everybody, I'm here like usual. Recently I had something come to mind. I saw Final Destination Bloodlines in theaters recently. It was a good watch, it was a good time. I went back to the source material.
Should I just say fuck all the other Final Destinations and watch the last one? You know what I'm saying? Should I do that, or should I just watch them in order? Let me know, chat.
And innovated on the best aspects of the franchise with some modern taste added to it. I thought it was one of the stronger movies of the bundle, which isn't saying much considering the fourth movie looks like this. And for some reason, I don't really know why. Maybe because the Phineas and Ferb revival that just came out, but I kept coming back to the character of Milo Murphy while I was watching. He's from another show produced by the Phineas and Ferb team, that being Milo Murphy's Law, and both of these franchises really have a lot in common in terms of supernatural aspects. So simply put, thinking about it all, who wins in the Final Destination movies? This middle schooler or death itself? The inevitable looming and biased death chasing down those who manage to evade it with an incredibly high win rate, or someone who by their mere existence makes everything that can go wrong actually go wrong? In the end, it's a complicated thought, and one that I put on
still
Twitter,
survive it all.
That tweet got several million views, and I knew pretty dang well that I was gonna have to make a proper follow-up. Let me just say, if you're familiar with the general ideas of both of these things, you recognize not only how similar they are, but how this is basically an immovable object versus an unstoppable force. Milo's gonna win, and it's not even close. Okay, let me
like that's what I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand. That's Milo, gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see the haircut he got. You see the haircut he got, bruh. This nigga got a dick on top of his head, bruh. You see a nigga with a dick on top of his head. Why do you think he's going to lose? I'm not understanding. I'm confused. Why do you think he has the ounce of loss in him, bruh? You know what I'm saying? He makes everything worse, but somehow he still comes out on top. It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a scary man right there, bro.
Iterate to give you an idea of just like what we're dealing with. Final Destination movies are about a single character having a premonition before a major tragedy happens. They freak out and accidentally or intentionally save a few other people. And then death itself bends reality through Rube Goldberg contraptions to assure the survivors meet the grave as they're supposed to. Sometimes death targets in the order of the first to die in the incident to the last. Other times, it's in reverse. But the only guaranteed thing is that eventually, no matter how long it takes, death will strike and kill off any survivors of these premonition incidents, and anyone who may be born from a person who was supposed to die in one of these incidents. Now, Milo theoretically is entirely prepared for anything the forces of death can thrust at it. Milo's premise is based on Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and the curse follows around the male members of the Murphy family, while the Final Destination curse is more focused on harming the victim. Milo's situation is more focused on general destruction. There are instances where Milo's targeted for his life or endangers others, but it's normalized in just a portion of the curse. Milo's Law in the show versus FD's the
like, bro, you gotta understand, bro. It been happening to him since legit, bro. Like, nothing gonna phase him no more, bro. Like, he really about the life. You know what I'm saying? That's Milo, by the way.
Get that dick up out that ass, nigga.
Of blind rage versus an incredibly petty and prepared revenge. Same things to fear, but in different fonts. And fellas, I gotta specify that in terms of an ordinary human, Milo is quite possibly the best suited character for a Final Destination movie. I'm not even assuming cartoon logic. I'm just treating Milo as if he's a normal guy. It's canon that Milo radiates a negative energy field that guarantees disaster.
What'd you say he got aura? You know what I'm saying? Would you say he got aura, chat? Let me know. I feel like that's some type of aura, even though it's negative, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? That's basically a superpower, bro. Everything around you go wrong, nigga. Shit, you can use that in any type of way you can. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can control it, but hey, it might work. It's I don't know.
This crossover in Phineas and Ferb, it's just a thing he has in universe. It is just something that is a part of him and his life. Another example of magical energy is Phineas and Ferb themselves. They actually produce the opposite type of energy, positive forces that increase their luck significantly, which is why they never got busted and why everything goes right for them and why they're really really smart. So long as they have a goal or intention, everything benefits them in the long run. Their equivalent is Marvel's Domino, bending reality in their favor, making Candace feel like she's losing her mind through the most dedicated gaslighting of all time. Phineas and Ferb are quite the lucky duckies, to say the least. Even then, Milo Murphy handles everything with or without others. He's a quick thinker, incredibly good at improvisation, so long as he has any sort of tools surrounding him, he's usually fine. So then, Milo wins. Milo will remain fine. Obviously, it's a stomp, but there's more to it. Without exaggeration, Milo's so good at evading his own curse that it could technically interfere with death. To clarify, the force of death and the force of Murphy's Law are separate parties, and if both were to interact with one another, not only is Milo already conditioned via Murphy's Law, but I would argue that death gets screwed over by the law as well. It would prevent Milo from being attacked because death's intention to kill Milo would go wrong and completely dodge Milo, enough to where even getting the curse is complicated. You can't really come up with a situation where Milo dies in a premonition because he's already ready for the premonition. He just would never get on death's radar. In these movies,
that's
death's
aura,
rules
bro.
are so...
See, I don't care what nobody. That's aura, bro. That's Milo. You know what I'm saying? The nigga named Milo. He got a dick on top of his head, by the way. You gotta understand, man.
Wildly inconsistent sometimes. It's baffling, but also kind of funny how bad death is at deathing. In order to be put on the priority of the death hit list, Milo either has to have a premonition or someone who has a premonition saves Milo's life before a major incident, and then anyone involved will now be part of the Final Destination movie. The third and the final way, which to be honest is the route I think is realistic, I think it's most likely to the Murphy situation, is that if someone responsible for the creation of you survived and started a bloodline, like the movie, like Final Destination Bloodline, then that person also gets chucked onto the list since they were never meant to exist in the first place under Death's plan. So what this means is that Milo could have an ancestor who survived a premonition and Death is getting desperate to end any of the Murphys, so then they try to target any of them. In Final Destination Bloodlines, a woman named Iris Campbell has a premonition in 1968 after this little shit in a sweater vest causes a major accident resulting in the deaths of everyone on the top floor of this Skyview restaurant, and dozens of people are in this incident. Based on the implications, Iris is the second to last person to be killed here, with the final survivor being the most iconic character of the series. This kid named William Bloodworth, played by Tony Todd when he was an adult. With the exception of
this shit been happening to him as a jit. Oh my lord, imagine that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You've been going through, like, you know what I'm saying, very scary, almost death experiences ever since you was a jit, man. Ever since you was a kid, bro. Like, my nigga, you might as well take me out, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You might as well go get a crowbar and stuck it up my ass, bro. Like, somewhere, do something, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to live no more, bro, if I gotta keep on living like this, man.
The Boeing 747 incident in the first movie, where Death will move anyone who dodges him to the back of his list. Death seems to not skip people in most instances, but does start picking and choosing when it gets desperate. The first movie had that. It specifically happened when the survivors started screwing with his orders, so Death just gives up and kills Carter in the incorrect order. Though you could make the argument Carter accidentally dies at the end of the movie. But then in the second movie, Death goes backwards and starts at the people who died last in the premonition, with the argument being, oh, it balances out with the first movie, which, no, Death, that makes no sense. Didn't happen in the fifth movie, which is a prequel to the first one. You had no issue smacking David Koechner in the noggin with a wrench in that one. Either way, Death is being a wacky little Grim Reaper, or there's multiple death forces, like multiple natural forces of death. Maybe it's a secret supernatural company that ends lives. We don't know. It's dumb. It's inconsistent. It's an inconsistent franchise.
Wait. We not gonna go past like you ain't put Wendy's in inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? Cause I completely agree with you, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, Wendy's so fucking inconsistent, it's not even funny. My nigga, you know what I'm saying? How does one day I go to Wendy's, I ask for a Baconator, 2 large fries, them bitches be hot and ready, you know what I'm saying? Baconator, ooh, burning my tongue, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? I wiggle that bitch just to get some fresh air off that.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
You know what I'm saying? Then the next day, that motherfucking Baconator looking like a Big Mac a homeless man ate, my nigga. Like, what the fuck? The Baconator not even cooked, my nigga. The cow's still mooing in that bitch, gang. What's going on? The fries look like some motherfucking shitheads, my nigga. They look like some noodles, my nigga. What am I eating, gang? You's right, bro. Wendy's is inconsistent as a motherfucker, bro. That bitch ass restaurant, man.
As with occasionally inconsistent rules,
I just had to let y'all know, bro.
It's not a scary threat. The scary part is that it's random if you get pulled into one of these premonition stories. This entire world should know about the premonition phenomenon at this point. Like the Boeing situation alone, where the entire plane explodes and then all the people who got off died right after. That should be enough for everybody to know this is a thing that exists and we should have a precaution for this. Usually the list of victims in the given movie will go in the premonition order of that given movie. Usually the first to pay perish in the vision is the first to perish in real life, so on and so forth, not moving to the next person unless the person before them is ended, along with any kin they may have produced post-premonition. So for example, if there was a premonition involving 5 people and they all were to die in that order, but the third person had a child, then that child is added to the list as person 4, and the previous person 4 and previous person 5 are moved back. They get an extra body to hide behind. To an extent, Murphy's Law acts like a bloodline rule mixed with out-of-order shenanigans. Milo's current situation is a hereditary burden held by people with the Y chromosome in the family, so Milo's sister Sarah gets a pass for some genetics or some bullshit like that. Murphy's Law started with Sheriff Murphy. We see at least 6 male Murphys on screen. None of them have died to the law yet. All of them from natural causes. All of them are prepped for this disaster. Yeah, that's all Death has gone for it. Milo wins otherwise. Dude, I really tried making this look like a fair debate.
I'm telling you, like, it's not fair, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And we still got like motherfucking 8 minutes left of the video game. What is else there to talk about, bro? Milo just dicking the dead down, okay? Like he giving dick down. Like he's giving that motherfucking dick.
Can we stay home tonight? Try something new tonight.
That's what he's doing to Death. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta let y'all know. You know what I'm saying? And also, I ain't did that shit in a long ass time. That shit felt good as fuck. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Milo low diffs, like 10% effort tops. He's going to evade no matter what. There's no proof of otherwise. There are 2 known ways to beat Death in FD. Either you end a life, therefore attaining all the remaining life that person had. Ending the life of a healthy baby would cure the curse, but you know. Option 2 is getting revived, and we actually see this one work out. In specific, in the second movie, when final girl Kimberly drives into a lake, and from there and the other guy left, Burke, they're considered winners and survivors because she gets revived, and everything goes back to normal. I must emphasize here, though, it seems that Death started restraining itself to not break the order of death from this point on, and it has to be one of the people in your premonition squad in order to survive. Not only does Milo not gotta end any lives, he doesn't even have to do this. Death is super insistent on these Rube Goldberg contraptions in each of these movies, and in Bloodlines, old lady Iris figures out how this works. For like decades, she is able to identify it. She is technically indestructible until the undefeatable Death power move occurs. Disease and cancer. Yep, you heard me right. When Death doesn't like someone being alive, post That's So Raven Vision, he just gives him a big old tumor where it counts and ends it. It is what specifically happens to Iris and William Bloodsworth. But Death only does it when he's fed up with survivors. Specifically William, because he's not only like completely dodged death, but he had the safety of Iris dying before him, and she was rotting in her safe haven, and then also Iris added 6 people to the list post-premonition, so he was just able to go around and research this supernatural concept, be vague and scary to any other people in their own Final Destination situations in previous movies. That's why he shows up so often. He's technically immortal because it wasn't his turn until he got cancer and was just waiting for Iris's family to go. And unrelated, I really like Tony Todd's work. I miss him a lot. I think it's weird that they gave him an incredibly similar terminal condition to his real life passing. I don't know.
See, that's why he looks so familiar. That nigga the Candyman gang. This the nigga that traumatized me as a jit, bruh. This bitch ass nigga. That shit crazy.
Both watches. I can't tell you why. And I know that Milo's eventually gonna die, but that's not the point. We all do, except for me, because I'm cool and awesome and a Pisces. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that in the case of Milo Murphy versus Death, he would invade Death his entire life and then just get diagnosed with a terminal disease, since Death from Final Destination is a sore loser and can't have immortality happen. Milo Murphy does not need to get revived. He's prepared for everything. He would not need to end another life. We're good. Milo wins. It's a stomp. A stomp doesn't even end there because Milo has time travel on speed dial. That's where Sheriff Murphy, Milo's ancestor who time traveled and may have began the Murphy curse, he time traveled. It's just a thing he had. Let me remind y'all regarding Murphy's Law, that's a chaos curse versus a cold calculated life-ending curse. The former is reliant on random equals funny hell. The latter uses drops of gasoline to blow up movie theaters or something. They would collide, and dude, they would cause problems with each other. Problems that entirely benefit Milo's behalf, since he's prepared for everything in advance, so he would perfectly dodge Death's plans. And
the crazy part is, you know what I'm saying, like, I fuck with Milo's friends too, you know what I'm saying? They've been sticking with him ever since, bro. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never switched up. They ain't never said, yo, I'm gonna stop hanging out with you because of all this. They say, I'm gonna stick with you, nigga. You a real ass nigga, Milo. that dick on top of your head, I'ma stick with it, my nigga. I might sit on top of it, gang. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I fuck with you, and I fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? I like that friends.
Spot them easier than the Murphy Law. In any situation where Death manages to even hurt them, he has like time travel lords on speed dial who would call in favors or bring him back, or they would revive him. So like Death loses anyway. Like literally, the only way Death could even start its contraptions as intended is if Phineas and Ferb, who reminder have the opposite burden to Milo, were around to maybe benefit Death if that's what they really wanted. But friendly reminder, Phineas is the nicest person on the planet. Why would he wish death on this kid he considers a friend with a sweater vest who sounds like Weird Al? But wait, there's more. We haven't even talked about the backpack yet. Milo's backpack was gifted to him and somehow just always has what he needs in any situation. This alone counters every known attempt at a kill that Death has gone through across all of Final Destination.
Too easy,
I am
man.
being dead
Way
serious.
too easy.
I went through all 6 movies, all instances, every attempt at a kill. Milo diffuses all of them with a flawless performance.
Goodness gracious, like, yo, gang, it's not even fair. It's not even fair. It's not even a debate. You know what I'm saying? This nigga just talking to talk just to make the video longer, and I fuck with it, gang. You know what I'm saying? Shit, more watch time for me and you, gang. Fuck.
He's able to immediately mark off any situations where he would never be doing the things the characters are doing, like using tanning beds that he doesn't need, or go to work out because he's already in peak physique, or getting an MRI. After all, why would he need that? He has a backpack. Okay, but what about the instances where Milo gets on a plane or a train or a roller coaster that traps him, maybe somehow separates him from his bag? Well, first off, he's smart enough to just avoid that situation. Assuming he knows about the curse, he would just simply not go on anything like that. But then let's also say he goes on anything, any of the rides, because I would assume at this point, time travel folks in his universe would just like know about this and they would think it's really funny and they would help him screw with Death and help him out wherever possible. They would like time travel and go, Milo, don't go on that submarine. It's gonna explode and the Death will get you. So don't do that. And then Milo would avoid it and Death would go, how is this fair? This is rigged. This is not fair to me. What did I do to deserve this? And then as for the rest of the Final Destination incidents that happen when characters are doing their everyday life stuff, look at the intro of the show alone. This is more than almost anything in the movies. Milo wins every single possible moment in this franchise where natural selection takes its course. There are worse things in the show, and Milo just has that dog in him. He does like a little Weird Al dance in front of the face of Death. By the way, why does Weird Al agree to so many animated characters? Look at his voice acting portfolio. It's really funny. When reflecting though, I don't really see a way where Death is able to harm Milo or even get to him. You can't think of a situation where this premonition would occur. He's been through this his whole life, being the same thing in different form. This isn't gonna do shit. And you'll go across all the deaths across these movies, there's not a single moment that I think where he would be stupid enough to be caught in a bad time and led to a loss. It's a sweep. It's such a sweep that if anyone else got in a Final Destination situation with Milo and he was ahead of them somehow, they should be screaming and jumping for joy.
I would have been, yes!
Managed to get ahead of them on the death list. They are fine. They are technically immortal until Milo gets a terminal disease. Death is just like, I can't kill this guy with my giant mousetrap adventure. I can't get my potted plant to fly across a skyscraper and hit him in the head. I just gotta give him rickets or something. It's a cop-out, but I mean, come on. Either commit to your bit or disease everyone who you're upset with.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
come on. You can't have both. I don't even know why Death doesn't just open up with that instead of causing more property damage. Starting more of these games up for no reason.
Wasting money,
if you have the ability to give your target terminal diseases, why aren't you doing that every time? You suck at your job. Just give the survivors super duper brain tumors if they evade you. Why are you attempting to be artsy? If you have that power to end a life,
they ain't shit. They ain't shit. They like
Does it look cool when you do the opposite? I mean, sure, but the real question we should be asking is if Milo Murphy survives Plague Inc. or not. Answer is yes, by the way. I'm no power scaler, but I mean, Milo does have his backpack, so there you go. Congratulations.
That is true.
The winner is Milo Murphy. He wins. It is definitely not even close. It is so embarrassing how difficult it is for the people in this movie to survive when Milo can do it every day. He does it when he walks to school. He does it when he buys groceries. He does it when he goes to like his friend's bar mitzvah. It's impossible for him to lose. And with that being said, thank you for watching. Please be sure to share, like, subscribe, and check out my other videos. Leave a comment and I'll try to respond.
Leave a comment. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on this video. You know what I'm saying? I low-key should watch all Final Destination movies.
Are at surviving. Just like, don't die. Is it really that hard? I mean, I haven't died yet in my 36 years of life. Is it really that complicated?
Damn. 36?
I mean, it can't be that hard. You
like
luck based.
Like 16 years older than me, friend. Oh, damn. Shit. Hey, that's him. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't gonna happen to somebody like me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good. I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. You know what I'm saying?